Hey, hey YouTube, what's up? Fortune here. Sorry I haven't been doing many videos. I've just been really busy and whatever, and just, doing other stuff. But I promise I'm going to start doing more videos more often. I've got a match that I'm going to upload at the same time. It might upload before this deck video goes up, so if it does, just ignore this entire sentence. But this is the deck profile of my current plant synchro deck that I've been running, and may run in upcoming regionals. That I think there is one. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, this is basically almost the same deck that you saw me play in. No, it isn't actually. It might be. It might be the same deck I used in the match that you'll see. But alright, I'm just gonna get right to it. 2 debris, standard, simple. Revive Dandylion, glow up Spore if you really want to do some weird combos and everything like that. Brings back Lonefire, pretty much standard. 3 Reborn Tengu, the most broken floater around that's legal to play right now. Most decks should be running this if they can support it. If not, whatever. But if you're not running this in any plant deck, there's something wrong with your deck. Personally, it's not very good or something, because I know a guy at our locals that chooses not to run this card and he runs plants, and yeah, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Gorz, pretty much standard. I was using Gorz and Tragodia, but Tragodia didn't seem to really help as much, so Gorz is pretty much a staple because of all the spamming players do nowadays, and this will stop their big combo push for game in an instant. So the standard plant engine, 2 Lonefire, Spore, Dandylion, and glow up bulb, pretty much staple. Well, it is staple. It's what makes a plant deck basically. 2 tour guides and a Sangan. This card's amazing. It lets you grab Sangan really fast, which pretty much grabs you every single card in your deck, minus Tengu, Gorz, and a couple others. So, and now that Exceeds are out and legal, you can go into, well, currently you can only go into Grenosaurus, but Grenosaurus has won me multiple games. It did on the last local I went to. I went undefeated, and I won like 2 or 3 games because of Grenosaurus, just for the extra 1,000 damage. So it's got another use now, and that's why the value of it is going really high up now. And then there's a lot of level 3 Exceeds coming out that are really good. So, and Sangan, well, Sangan's staple in a plant deck. A little bit of my tech, 2 Maxx's, 2 Effect Veilers. Effect Veiler is pretty much standard. It helps stop all their major pushes, and it's an easy side out card against decks that doesn't really affect that much, like Gravekeeper and Hero. It doesn't really affect them that much, so you can side them out easily for other cards that would benefit you more. Maxx's, I think these are pretty much a staple in almost any deck right now. You should be using at least one, just to help counteract the plants. Helps deal with 6 Samurai if they go turn 1 and you open up with it. It lets you, it makes them think about doing their play. Like, I was at Nationals and I played in a side event or a regional, and I was running a Fable deck, and I played against a plant player, and I went card destruction, and I had 2 Ganesha, 2 Cerberals in my hand, and he chained Maxx, and he drew bazillion cards, and I tried to push for game, but he had the Veiler and he hit the Gorz off of the bazillion cards he drew. So this card actually beat me a couple times at Nats in terms of games, and I wish I was running 2 at the time, but I had somebody tell me not to run them, and we were testing, and it was working better in the fact that not running them. And I didn't expect to see as many, I didn't expect to play against as many plant mirror matches that I did. I went, if anybody cares, I went 4-1-1 and gave up, basically. Yeah, I pretty much gave up. It was like 9:30 at night. There was still like 3 rounds to go, and I was so tired and Yu-Gi-Oh'd out. I don't think I could have stayed conscious for the last 3 rounds. So, because apparently it ended at like 2 in the morning for some rounds, and it just, lack of sleep did that to me, and lack of food and everything. So But back to the deck. Alright, yeah. So I think you should be running 2 of these, at least in plant decks. And should be teching 1 in a lot of other decks, so. Here comes the last part of my tech. I use 1 and 1. At Nationals was running 2 of that because of the TG deck. And yet I never played against a single TG deck, but I did play against X-Sabers, and this card was vital against it because it stopped all their Dark Soul searches. There's not as much TG and X-Saber around here as there was at like Nationals. There was an abundance of Gravekeeper, so this gives me the advantage against Gravekeeper. And Breaker is amazing right now because a lot of people are starting to run Deep Prison again to help deal with the TG. So I can summon pop, and then or summon attack and then pop, or summon pop, and it's guaranteed. It already equals itself out. And Thunderkin is just awesome. TGs have a hard time dealing with this without Horn if you just summon and just leave it there. So that's the monsters. Spells. Foolish Burial, staple in a plant deck. 1 for 1. Grab your Spore, Glow Up, or Veiler, depending on if you're desperate. So, really good card. My defense. 2 enemy controllers and a Book of Moon. I didn't run Book of Moon at Nats, and I was a fool for not doing it. This card, a lot of people don't like Book of Moon. I love Book of Moon, mostly because it also stops combos. They can go Debris, bring back something, and I can Book of Moon the Debris. Or they can do Spore, Glow Up, I can Book of Moon the Spore, Glow Up, and it stops their combo dead fast. So, and it also helps me get past bigger monsters and can protect me against other weird combos that people do. Enemy controller is like amazing right now. I can tribute off a tour guide that's dead if I don't want to exceed with it to take another monster of theirs. I can tribute off a Tengu, take their monster, go for it. It's good for defense. I can take their Librarian and then go crazy Synchron, draw a bunch of cards, and then use the Librarian as part of a Synchro with something that I might have on the field. And it's good it's really good now because with Exceeds you can always tribute off a Tengu, take a level 4 guy, bring another Tengu and exceed with their guy. So really good card. I would suggest maining these in a lot of decks, especially in plant decks. So double Avarice, staple. 3 I think is way too much. I draw it enough as it is. So Dark Hole, staple. Monsterborn, staple. Mind Control. Mind Control goes up and down. I think right now it's actually I think I would consider it a staple in almost every deck now in this with Exceeds out, because you can pretty much, it's almost, I guess you could consider it's like a brain control now, a free brain control, maybe a Change of Heart or something like that, because you can take their guy and exceed with it. So, and Exceeds are basically the new Synchro. So I would suggest maining this in almost any deck. Giant Trunade, the replacement for Heavy Storm. It wins games just by clearing the backfield. And double MST, which is staple, especially against decks in this deck because of a lot of the spells and traps that really hurt this deck, like Gozin's Rivalry, Defissure, and traps. Call of Haunted, a staple in a plant deck. I don't run Limit Reverse. I don't think it's necessary. You don't really need it, so Call I think is all you need. Mirror Force, Torrential, my defense of the deck. The Hand of God, I guess you could put it. And it's 2 backups, which guaranteed staple. And my tech. I run 1 Trap Stun. I'm almost thinking of going to 2 and dropping the Horn. Trap Stun is amazing because it lets me do all my big pushes and really only have to worry about Book of Moon, Enemy Controller, Forbidden Lance, Forbidden Chalice, Effect Veil. Like it takes away the whole trap aspect. And with TGs being really popular, playing a Trap Stun on them it can actually cripple them completely. So this card has won me games because nobody sees it coming, because very few plant decks I've seen are running Trap Stun. And it's like flip Trap Stun, stop everything, and then make your huge push with no worries that it's going to be interfered. And 1 Black Horn of Heaven. I'm currently testing this. It has its ups and downs. It did stop a Gaia Knight on me when I was playing against my teammate who was running TG. He tried to drop a Gaia Knight on me and a Black Horn, and then I gamed him the next turn because he was pretty much desperate at the time. But it's really situational in a sense. Like, I think this is more of a side deck card than it is a main deck card. Because very, very rarely do I get its effect off. Usually they bring back something with Monster Reborn or something. Or I've got a warning down with it, so. You can test it for yourself. Let me know if you like it or not. I don't know. It's really up in the air for me. So that's the deck. I think it's 41 cards. I'll show you the extra deck now. Double Formula, staple in a plant deck. Armory Arm, staple. Catastor, double Librarian. This deck could survive with one Librarian when it goes. Since it's probably going down to one, come the September list. So it wouldn't be a problem. I very rarely bring out double Librarian in one game. Usually one's enough to do it. So, but 2 Librarian, Brionac, staple. This will become an Orient Dragon. Hopefully this weekend if somebody pulls one, because I will get it if it's pulled at my sneak. Right now it's good. I didn't use this at Nationals. I had an Arcanite Magician over this, and Arcanite did do some good for me. But the sad thing is, one of the games that I lost, I won the match, but the game that I lost, one of the games I lost, I would have won if I had an Iron Chain in my extra deck because I had Debris and I brought back a Maxx. But whatever, it happens. I'm not going to fret over it or anything. 1 Black Rose, 1 Ancient Fairy, 1 Stardust, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Trishula. Yes, you can make 2 quite often. And 1, basically, when you pull 1 off and they don't Veiler or anything, usually you can win that game, but you have to cut some stuff, and this is probably going down to 1 anyways come September, so, because I want to fit these guys in. Grenosaurus, really easy to get out in this deck. I do it a lot with Tour Guide into Tour Guide. If I already use my Sangan, since I seem to tend to open up with Sangan a lot turn 1. The card is actually really good. 2000 beater. When I destroy a monster, I can detach an XYZ to do 1000 damage. That can be a lot of damage when you're attacking certain things, so that's why I like Grenosaurus. Utopia was there just for the level 4. I've only brought it out in 1 game, and I actually won the game, and I didn't need this. I just brought it out just because I could. But it's there for those situations where it might come in handy, so I like it. I don't know if I'd keep it in there. If I go to regionals, it might be in there. But I should have, like, there'll be other access to other stuff. I may need to make another room for a Synchro or something, so. That's the extra deck, and I'll show you the side deck that I'm currently using. It's a really good side deck. It had not very little bit in it has actually failed me lately. 2 Catastrophe. This card really puts a hurting on Gravekeeper, unless they got one of their 2 to 3/7 tools down, but still it's like, this card really hurts Gravekeeper. It really hurts TG because they've only got Dark Bribe and Judgment to stop it if they attack. It hurts Glad Beast for the most part. It's just really good right now because of the decks coming out are all spell and trap heavy decks that set a lot, so very good card. 2 Cyber Dragon. You side in against Glad Beast, Machines, Stun decks, or if you think they're siding in Thunder Kings or something against you, you side these in and just over the Thunder King. You can sometimes side them in the Gravekeeper because this will get over pretty much any Gravekeeper without Necrovalley, and with Necrovalley it gets over any attack position Gravekeeper, so. 2 Puppet Plant, mainly for 6 Samurai. I can side them in against a hero match, and I can side them in against Gravekeeper. I used to side them in more against Gravekeeper because I main decked Caius, or I sided an extra Caius because you go discard, take their guy, tribute off for Caius. But since I don't really run tributes anymore, I probably would still side them in because I can exceed with their monsters and stuff, so it's a good card right now. I think it's a really good card. This is mostly for stun, and the main reason these are in here, because I know these are starting to die out a little more, is the TG. You need to send their stuff out of play, and I can't legitimately use like Defissure, and Banisher is just doesn't really help that much because normally they have protection. This way I can send their guys out of play and it benefits me. So, and TG don't explode, they just slowly beat you away, so this helps against the TG matchup. Mirror Match. This helps against the Mirror Match. It helps against TG because if you take their guy out of the graveyard after you've destroyed it, if you take it out of the graveyard before their end phase, they don't get the search, so. And it's good against other decks like Water Synchro and stuff. It's one of those cards that right now with plants being so popular, it's good to have. The other Thunder King, mainly for TG. Gnomons for Gravekeeper and maybe X-Saber. Dust Tornadoes for Gravekeeper mostly. One Fawcettina. I don't really like Fawcettina that much. I had him in my side at Nationals and he didn't really do that much for me. Because a lot of people were signing them in against me, and it's just like... He's good, but he's a little slow. He's better in a deck that has a lot of back row protection, so you can summon them and just stop their special summoning, but... He's in there for now. I decided to leave one in there. I originally had two, but I dropped one for a Kinetic Soldier. As a little extra O to 6 Samurai, because they either main or side D-Fissure now, so... This gives me a little extra out against them. And Hero's becoming really popular, so this will help against Hero, because they're going generic. They're going straight Hero with like all the new ones coming out, like Great Tornado and Nova Master and everything. So, but yeah, so that's my deck. Let me know what you guys think, and like I said, check out the match. I will be doing more. I might do a quick little thing at my sneak because I don't think I'm playing in the sneak because I have to work that day. So. Yeah, so like I said, sorry for being a little held back on the videos. I will start to do more so again, so alright, peace out.